Caryn Chandler and Matt Roloff, star of Little People, Big World, split up. Last but not least, Caryn Chandler married her covert partner. For Matt Roloff, Caryn cheats. I'll tell you all about it. Welcome back to our channel, where we explore your favorite reality TV stars' little-known backstories. We're revealing the details of a drama that has shocked the Little People, Big World community today. It is the account of Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler, two individuals who appeared to have a happily ever after before everything fell apart. In a manner anyone anticipated. 2025 marked the end of their engagement, but it was only the beginning. Fans are in shock over rumors of an unexpected marriage, a hidden boyfriend, and infidelity. Was Matt Roloff cheated on by Caryn Chandler? What actually took place behind closed doors? In this thrilling story, grab some popcorn, settle in, and let's discover the startling truth. The startling reality of Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler's breakup is this. Let's begin at the beginning in order to comprehend this tale. You must be familiar with the setting. When Little People Big World debuted on TLC in 2006, it swiftly evolved beyond a simple reality show, turned into a window into a very special family's lives. The Roloffs reside in Oregon on a charming farm, a location that has grown to be as much a part of the narrative as the characters. Pumpkin patches, rolling hills, and a tall castle. The scene seems to have been taken directly from a storybook. The parents who gave this family life, Matt and Amy Roloff, are at the center of the program. Amy and Matt are both dwarfs. Amy has chondroplasia and Matt has diastrophic dysplasia, which have influenced their lives and the difficulties they have encountered. The twins, Jeremy and Zach, were born in 1990. The daughter, Molly, was born in 1993, and the youngest, Jacob, was born in 1997. Zach has dwarfism like his parents, while Jeremy and Molly are of average height. Additionally, Jacob has gone in and out of the spotlight on his own. The family's dreamer is Matt Roloff. He is the man who took a plot of land and developed it into Roloff Farms, a successful enterprise that welcomes thousands of tourists each year. Matt's vision includes weddings, adventure trips, and pumpkin season. From building a pirate ship to building a treehouse, he is constantly experimenting with new ideas since he is an entrepreneur at heart. However, that drive has also been a double-edged sword, particularly in terms of his relationships. Amy Roloff, however, has served as the family's binding agent. She's the mom who managed the tumult of a reality show, raised children, and pursued her own goals. We've seen her develop over the years, particularly after some difficult personal chapters, from a wife and mother to a woman discovering her own voice. The children, too, have their own tales to tell. In order to focus on his photography and his family life with his wife, Audrey, Jeremy, the artistic twin, departed the show. The more reserved Zach remained, raising his own children with his wife, Tori, and navigating his personal health issues. Molly, her husband Joel, and their children Jacob have maintained a more subdued lifestyle. His relationship with the show has been tumultuous. He left to write books and share his honest thoughts about the family's struggle. Little People, Big World has allowed us to have a close-up look at one family's milestones, struggles, and joys for almost 20 years. It's a show about overcoming adversity and figuring out where you fit in with the world when you're different. And until it wasn't, Matt and Amy's marriage was at the center of everything. For 27 years, Matt and Amy Roloff were wed. For most couples, that is a lifetime commitment. In the realm of reality television, it seems to go on forever. They first connected at a Little People of America conference in the late 1980s, which brings together individuals with dwarfism. They got married in 1987 when sparks soared. They soon began establishing their lives on the farm, rearing their children, and transforming their land into a busy business. We witnessed their marriage's high points, family getaways, humor, and their ability to support one another on the show. We did, however, see the lows. Amy's need for stability occasionally clashed with Matt's lofty goals. While Amy took care of the children and the house, he would spend hours in his workshop or organizing the next farm project. They began to feel the effects of those disparities over time. By 2014, it was hard to overlook the flaws. Matt and Amy declared that year that they were splitting up. After 27 years of marriage, it is with great sadness that we have come to the difficult decision to file for divorce, they said in a joint statement, and we are proud of what we have accomplished together, including raising our 4 wonderful children who have grown into remarkable adults and building our strong and ongoing successful businesses. It was polite, it was poised, but it left a lot unsaid. The divorce was finalized in 2016, and although they both insisted it was mutual, fans couldn't help but wonder what. Amy gave us the first concrete hint in 2019 when she published her book, A Little Me. In it, she revealed that she had been devastated to discover that Matt had been involved in more than just a working relationship with Caryn Chandler prior to their final divorce. I saw messages, pictures, and other things that should not have been shared between people who just were together and were in a relationship with each other. Though she didn't explicitly call it cheating, the implication was clear, and for fans, it was a gut punch. Had Matt betrayed Amy with the woman who had been right under their noses the entire time? Matthew, for his part, has always denied anything improper happened while he was married. Wow, that's a heavy accusation. Amy was claiming that Matt had been unfaithful, that he was getting close to Caryn, who had been working at Roloff Farms for years. He has dismissed the rumors in interviews, claiming that he and Caryn didn't begin dating until after the divorce, but Amy's remarks stayed with Matt, sowing doubt that would follow him into his next chapter. Caryn Chandler wasn't new to the Roloff world. She had been the farm's manager for more than 10 years, helping Matt bring his crazy ideas to life while managing the crowds during pumpkin season and keeping things running smoothly during the off-season. Though her backstory isn't as public as the Roloffs, we know that Caryn is a mother to 2 grown children, Connor and Brittany, from a previous marriage. Born and raised in Oregon, her connection to the farm made her a familiar face to longtime viewers, but prior to 2016, she was just an employee, someone in the background, not the spotlight. That all changed in 2017 when Matt revealed he and Caryn were dating, less than a year after his. Their relationship unfolded on Little People, Big World, and social media, and we saw them laughing together, traveling to places like Hawaii, and working on farm projects side by side. Matt couldn't stop praising Caryn, and in a 2018 episode, he called her his rock, saying, "She's been a huge part of my life," and the news of his divorce from Amy raised eyebrows. For some, it was too soon, while for others, it confirmed what Amy had hinted at, that something had been simmering between Matt and Caryn for some time. "I'm lucky to have her." On Instagram, he posted pics of them with captions like #LivingOurBestLife, showing off their happiness. For Caryn, dating Matt came with its challenges. She'd worked for his family, and now she was stepping into a very public role as his partner. In a season 23 confessional, she admitted it was awkward at first, especially with Amy still around, but she said, "Matt and I have something special. They moved in together, and I wouldn't exchange that for anything." Fans thought they were creating something solid, a second chance at love for Matt after a messy divorce, but not everyone was on board. Amy, in particular, maintained her distance, saying in a 2020 interview with People that it was difficult to see Matt move on, especially with someone I knew. "I wish them well, but it's complicated." Matt called the 2021 time split between the farm and a house he bought nearby a whole new major chapter in life. A reminder of the messy overlap between Matt's past and present. By 2023, he and Caryn had been together for 6 years, a milestone that demonstrated they were more than just a rebound. That April, Matt made the decision to pop the question. It was a quiet evening at their house, and he proposed with a custom ring he designed himself. Caryn accepted, and the couple told People magazine about their engagement. Matt exclaimed, "Our plan is to enjoy our engagement, and we are anticipating a modest yet tasteful wedding in 2024. Caryn continued, "I can't wait to live out the rest of my days with Matt. He's my best friend." The announcement was accompanied by a picture of them grinning, with Caryn's ring gleaming on her finger. Fans were ecstatic, as this felt like a victory after years of watching Matt deal with being single. Finally, and they're perfect together, comments flooded social media, and wedding plans began to take shape. Would it be on the farm? A destination event? The options were endless, but as 2024 approached, things were quiet. Too quiet. Caryn gave fans pause in a season 25 episode of Little People, Big World, saying, "The farm is off the table whether we get married or not." Hold on, what? The wedding was prearranged, right? Her words suggested a shift. Like maybe she wasn't sold on tying the knot. Matt echoed that uncertainty in a 2024 interview with People. He admitted, "I'm afraid, wondering how we might change after marriage. We don't have any issues with the institution of marriage. We've been married and we both like it, but is it really necessary? Caryn and I sometimes have different visions," he continued. Caryn seemed to yearn for something more straightforward away from the turmoil of roll-off farms and the cameras, but Matt loved the farm and it was his legacy. "I'm tied to the farm and she's not sure she wants to live here forever." Those remarks were a warning sign. "Caryn and I have decided to part ways and end our engagement. Life's a continued journey and this is the right step for us at this time. We remain amicable and will always appreciate the many wonderful memories we have shared." The words hit like a thunderclap after 6 years together, engagement, and all those plans. What had happened? Fans began to wonder if the wedding would ever happen, but then in July 2025, Matt dropped the bombshell. The news spread quickly, and People magazine confirmed that Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler had called off their engagement. E! Online called it a shock to fans, while Screen Rant said, "The couple seemed solid just months ago." Matt's brief, courteous, and ambiguous statement left more questions than answers. He also disabled comments, indicating that he wasn't prepared to deal with the barrage of reactions. Reactions lighted up X. A few supporters were devastated. Others weren't shocked. One user commented, "I realized something wasn't right when they continued to postponing the wedding." Another added, "Matt is worthy of better." However, why? And there was the big question. Fans didn't believe Matt's kind statement that it was reciprocal. Had they simply drifted apart? Did the farm come up? Or did anything more sinister lie beneath the surface? Matt remained silent in the days that followed, posting about getting ready for pumpkin season and concentrating on the farm. Meanwhile, Caryn disappeared from social media, leading followers to make wild guesses. Tiny. Did anyone know that things would change when the true story came out? In the realm of reality TV, breakups are seldom easy, and this one was no exception. Days after the breakup, reports began to circulate that Matt and Caryn's story was more complicated than a nice partying couple. Details started to surface from people close to the family, and what they disclosed was astounding. Caryn had been in a relationship. He was a contractor named Michael Thompson who had been engaged in Roloff Farms construction for the previous 12 months. Tall, tough, and known for his charm and ability to fix anything, Michael was in his late 40s. He had been brought in to supervise the guest cottage renovations on the farm, a project Matt was really enthusiastic about. However, Michael and Caryn were growing closer while Matt was preoccupied with filmmaking and farm work. We were told by an insider that it began innocently enough. Caryn was in charge of coordinating with Michael, who was frequently present to assist with the cottages. They enjoy coffee breaks, joke, and converse, yet it evolved into something greater over time. People began to notice when they vanished for extended periods of time. The timeline was slipping. Michael began working at the farm in mid-2024, around the time that Matt and Caryn's wedding plans stalled. Another source, a longtime FART employee, added, Caryn was feeling neglected. Matt always had a million things going on the show, the farm, his grandkids. Michael was different. He listened to her, made her feel seen. They had chemistry. Witnesses claim that in 2025, Caryn and Michael were seen together off the farm, going to lunch in Hillsborough, and going for walks close to her former neighborhood. One local told us that they didn't act like friends, but rather held hands and laughed like a couple. This is where things get messy though, because Caryn was still engaged to Matt at the time of the incident. Yes, while Matt was making plans for their future, Caryn was allegedly falling for someone else. A family friend said that Matt initially didn't know about it, believing Caryn entirely, but he began to suspect something was wrong in the spring of 2025 because she was aloof and always had reasons to be somewhere else. The tipping point was in June 2025, when Nat confronted her after discovering a text message from Michael on her phone. It was a casual "see you tomorrow," but it was enough to start a fight. Caryn denied anything romantic, but Matt wasn't persuaded, and they decided to call it quits on their engagement a few days later, with Matt insisting they keep it amicable for. In October 2025, just 3 months after the breakup, Caryn married Michael Thompson in a private ceremony. The news didn't leak right away. It was a hushed affair held at a vineyard in Wilmette. Matt was devastated. The friend claimed that he loved Caryn and thought she was his forever, and that learning that she had been sneaking around broke his heart. However, he didn't want a public war. He just wanted it over. It was a small wedding with only a few guests, but the story behind it made headlines. According to our sources, the wedding was hurriedly planned, and Caryn didn't want it public. One attendee told us she and people would talk, especially after the split, but she was infatuated with Michael. The pictures appeared weeks later after a guest shared them with a tabloid. Caryn looked stunning in a simple white dress, with her hair swept back, smiling next to Michael in a dark suit. It was a clean break from her past, and they didn't want to wait. The guest list was small, and there were no roll-offs: Connor and Brittany, her kids, and a few close friends. Caryn broke her silence with a brief statement to the U.S. Sun. "I have found true happiness with Michael. Our connection is deep, and I'm grateful for this new chapter in my life." There was no apology or mention of Matt, just a declaration of her new reality, and the speed of it all left people talking. Fans did the math, and it pointed to one conclusion: Caryn's relationship with Michael was not new. It had been going on while she was still with Matt, confirming the rumors of infidelity. Nat was caught off guard once more. According to a source close to him, he had heard rumors about Michael, but the marriage came as a shock. He had assumed she would at least take her time to sort things out rather than rush into marriage. Michael, for his part, stayed out of the spotlight. We looked into his background. He is a divorced father of one, runs a small. The Roloff family didn't remain silent for long though, as Amy Roloff, who is now happily married to Chris Murick, spoke out with unexpected empathy in a November 2025 interview with Today, saying, "Matt and I have had our differences, but I hate to see him hurting." Friends describe him as steady and kind, the opposite of Matt's high-energy chaos. Perhaps that's what drew Caryn to him. "I understand how it feels to feel deceived. I wish him a happy life once more." In a beautiful turn of events, her remarks alluded subtly to her personal history with Matt and Caryn. The Roloff children united around their father. Molly and Jacob remained silent, but sources said they were taken aback by Caryn's behavior. Zach responded on Instagram, "Family is everything. We're here for you, Dad." He included a picture of him and Matt at the farm with the words, "Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Love you, Dad." The fans' opinions were divided. Regarding X, the responses came flooding in. The online debate raged, with some viewing Caryn as a villain and others as a woman seeking happiness. However, one user tweeted, "I can't believe Caryn cheated on Matt. He deserves so much better." Another said, "Good for Caryn. Matt's a workaholic. She needed someone who'd put her first." A third wrote, "This feels like karma for what Matt did to Amy. Watch how it unfolds on screen." Little People, Big World has always thrived on real-life twists, and this one is a goldmine. Season 26 is currently in production, and producers are keeping quiet, but insiders say Matt's storyline will center on his recovery. He's putting himself into the farm, processing the breakup, and possibly dating again. Caryn's future on the show is unclear. She's taken a backseat since the split, and her marriage to Michael suggests she is not filming and is over with the Roloff spotlight. According to The Insider, she wants a new beginning away from all of this. Matt has been transparent about his plans to move on, saying in a December 2025 Instagram Live, "Life goes on and I'm focused on my family and the farm. I'm not closing any doors," he said, implying that he was open to love, adding, "I have no regrets and wish Caryn all the best. I'll know when the perfect person shows up." Caryn and Michael have found a quiet. The story of Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler began with hope, veered into heartbreak, and left us wondering what we thought we knew. Did Caryn cheat on Matt? The evidence, rumors, and timelines that show a lightning-fast marriage point to yes, but in typical reality TV fashion, we may not know. They bought a house in Portland, far from the chaos of the farm. She's happier than ever. A friend said Michael's her safe place. Thank you for joining us on this crazy journey. What do you think? Did Caryn do Matt wrong? Or was this just two people growing apart? Leave your thoughts below. We never get the whole truth, but we do know that Matt is picking up the pieces, surrounded by family and a farm that is his lifeline. Caryn has found her happiness, even if it came at a cost. And for us, the viewers, it's a reminder that love is messy, unpredictable, and oh so human, even under the bright lights of fame. I'll tell you everything. Isabel Roloff has been posting constantly on the Roloff Farms Instagram account, and I've received a lot of updates on the house from her. However, viewers of Little People, Big World noticed that Matt Roloff was missing one employee from his team, specifically the worker who has been with him the most. Chandler reunited with Zach Roloff, Tori Roloff, and their children amid estrangement. And Matt Roloff's former employee convicted of cocaine possession and more. Camerino Gonzalez Sanchez worked for Roloff Farms for nearly 20 years. Can you tell me how Camerino Gonzalez Sanchez did? Some TLC viewers were interested in learning more, but fortunately, other fans knew the answers. An ex-employee of Matt Roloff's was arrested on a number of charges, including possession of cocaine. To what specific charges was he subjected? Many people are wondering if Matt is still in contact with him. Regarding his absence from the property, admirers nevertheless peeked their heads into an Instagram photo despite the scene. "I stopped by to check on him and find out what had happened to him." In response to the question, admirer said, "I think he was deported." Does he still communicate with any of the Roloffs? Camerino Gonzalez Sanchez was a kind individual who worked very hard for Matt. It was therefore a huge letdown. As stated in the original poster for the question, according to the TLC broadcast, Camerino Gonzalez Sanchez departed Roloff Farms and was deported in 2016. The documents showed that he was returning to Mexico, the Sun said. These court documents also informed the public of a number of charges against him. These charges included possession of cocaine, dangerous driving, and intoxicated driving. In 2016, Amy informed Zach, her son, that Camerino's deportation was official at the time. She continued by saying the news was heartbreaking, publicly voicing their worries about the Roloff family prioritized Camerino Gonzalez Sanchez's children. Additionally, Matt Roloff made a special effort to help his old colleague. In an attempt to prevent the deportation of his employees, he established a petition and was able to gather 35,000 signatures. In his appeal, he referred to Camerino's documentation as defective. The Roloffs planned to support Camerino, he countered. Matt Roloff, who was describing what transpired, claimed that she mismanaged client funds and made poor choices on behalf of Camerino is among her clients. Matt Roloff contended at the time that his former employee was being charged with drug possession rather than genuine chemical possession. If he had been able to return to the United States, LPB followers believe Matt would have been happy to see him. Is Matt Roloff still in contact with his former employee, in your opinion? Now leave a comment. Matt Roloff finds it hard to leave his cherished farm, but is it possible this time? According to trustworthy sources, Little People, Big World star Matt Roloff found it difficult to give up the family property in Oregon that he had inherited for many generations. Amy Roloff and her children from a previous marriage, together with 61-year-old Roloff, were offered $4 million for their house last year. The cost has been drastically lowered since then. Everyone is always arguing over Matt wanting to sell the property. My gut tells me he is serious about it this time, a source told the Washington Post. For a moment, he thought of offering it to Rand so he could keep ownership. The property, located near the downtown area of Portland, which spans more than 16 acres, is currently valued at $3.39 million. According to the description, the main house has around 5,000 square feet of modern living space with 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, an outdoor pool, and a 6-car garage. The entire house, 2 living areas, one with a gas fireplace, a gourmet kitchen, a dining area, 2 offices, and the master suite are all upstairs. Upstairs, you'll discover a bonus room, a home theater, 2 complete, 4 bedrooms and baths. There is a 3,500 square foot red barn next to it, a stone castle, several bridges for pedestrian enjoyment of the property's paths, and a western town with a saloon, prison, post office, and general store are some of the extra features listed in the description. I have dedicated the majority of my adult life to creating an imaginative environment full of adventure for my family, Matt Roloff had previously stated. After 30 amazing years, I have. Matt will still make a tidy profit even if the asking price is nearly met. The first episode of Little People Big World aired on March 4th, 6. The show followed the married 4-foot-tall Roloff parents as they raised their 4 children, Jacob and Molly, who are younger siblings, and Zach and Molly, who are twins. The Roloffs decided to pass the reins of this incredible property on to its next owners so that they too can put down roots and see them grow. In 1990, the Roloffs invested $185,000, or $444,000 today, on the property. The 60-year-olds sold 32 acres of the family farm to Matt for $975,000 in 2020 following Amy and Matt's 2016 divorce, and she married real estate agent Chris Merrick in 2021. Despite their estrangement, Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler reunited with Zach Roloff, Tori Roloff, and their 3 children. Little People, Big World's Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler reunited with Zach Roloff, Tori Roloff, and their 3 children, despite grown. The couple's 2 oldest children, Jackson, age 5, and Lila, age 2, were shown coloring with their cousins, Ember, age 5, and Beau as well. They also have a 6-month-old son named Joa, whom Jackson and Lila share. Audrey Roloff paid tribute to Matt's late father, Ronald Roloff, on Sunday, November 6th, with a series of Instagram stories posts that featured images and videos from a family get-together. Tori, 31, and Zach, 32, were not featured in any of the images. As viewers watched the rivalry between Tori, Zach, Matt, and Caryn develop in season 24 of the TLC show, the family reunited. Tori and Zach revealed at the November 1st premiere that they were at odds with Matt and Caryn, 55, after the father of 4 listed a portion of Roloff Farms for sale. They claimed that the family farm is no longer a place of joy and has a hostile climate. Audrey, 31, wrote of the tender moment. Matt, 61, was having a great time with Bode. They added that they had no intention of introducing Joa to Caryn. Caryn then revealed that she and her long-term partner had stopped communicating with Zach, Tori, and their kids, admitting, "I hope we will just talk again someday. I have trust that once that foundation is healed, things will improve for us since I know Matt is trying to repair his relationship with them. Something will come up." The confessional. The reality star went on to explain that Zach's relationship with his twin brother Jeremy Roloff, who had also expressed interest in purchasing the property, was severely damaged when Matt decided to sell off a portion of the farm in May. The deal fell through, and Zach and Tori were uprooted to Washington's battleground, further away from home. Unbearable pain because of this whole thing is still painful. Losing touch with the kids happens daily. With the assistance of his ex-wife, Amy Roloff, Matt brought up Zach, Jeremy, Molly, and Jacob Roloff. No more today. What are your thoughts on this gossip today? Please share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe to our channel for more updates like this. Thank you. Matt changed his mind in October and decided to purchase the Markets property. Suddenly, he announced that the family's historic Roloff Farms mansion will be rented out.